It's the Vikings going up against the Packers.
Larry, there's just something that feels right about a snowy day for football in Green Bay. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. The man under center leading them now 40 years of age in his 18th year out of Michigan, the great Tom Brady.
And we keep hearing from people who are waiting to see the drop-off in his play. I'd quit worrying about it. I'd quit looking for it. He says he wants to play until he's 45. Is there any reason to doubt him? His skills have shown no sign of declining.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Good move at the 30. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. They still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy. And that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there? Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Well, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And
it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Julio Jones, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Be back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. 2nd down following the run. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. you think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Now a play fake here on first down. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rodgers caught left side. Bennett. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
You give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big.
That's what they were aiming for. You want to keep moving the sticks, get into a rhythm, gain confidence as you go along. And right now, mission accomplished.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. On play action, it's Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? Well, on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoff. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
It becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
Brady to throw on 2nd down. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Jake Ryan not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss.
Normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. But they occupy.
Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Vikings. Julio Jones, 82 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Set to return, this is Jeff Janis. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now it's Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, first down. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Caught by Jones. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart.
Tackle pressure, and down he goes. Clay Matthews in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. It's caught. Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Julio Jones. Jones, saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And it's 21-3. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. Uses the stiff arm. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And complete on the right side to Bennett. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
I know you're trying to have the scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Rodgers now to throw. This is Cobb with a catch right side. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Rodgers now on first down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. And it's second down. Rodgers going to throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bennett. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Rodgers to throw once more. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And Crosby puts it through, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw.
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On is the punter, King, to send it away. Fielded at the 30s. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando. Hold that thought, Mr. Ridley. We've got a trip to the title game on the line. Folks are eager to get right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. T.J. Watt coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now Jones. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And, you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They got to make some moves.
Airing it deep for Janis. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Sherrills. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Take him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Looking back to the air on second down, it's Brady. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Brady now on first down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. A good pickup there of 22. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Julio Jones, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Here's Tucker now out to kick.